What's up, YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and in this video, I want to try and answer the simple question, should you be buying silver right now? So let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. If you would like to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you would just like to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so the question of the day is, should you be buying silver right now, or possibly should you be waiting? Now, I am filming this video on May 3rd, 2020, but I'm going to post it on May 4th, and I've got a couple pieces here that I've stacked over the last few years that we'll go ahead and show off during the video. But really the question is, should you be buying right now, or should you be waiting? Now, I know there's a lot of people that are just getting into precious metals. I've got tons of comments on my recent videos of people saying, should I wait or should I start buying? Should I buy a little bit and see what happens? Should I back up the truck? Well, there's actually a lot of factors. So I do want to say right off the bat that literally no one knows what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in the world. We don't know what's going to happen in the economy. We don't even know what's going to happen with silver. We could have the price go up. The price could go down. The only way to really guess is to look at what's happened in the past, make some assumptions, and then we can sort of decide, okay, do we think it's going to go up or down? Now, usually over a long period of time, the price of silver does go up. You can look back decade after decade, and for the most part, it goes up, which is why silver is such a great hedge against inflation. So we see the buying power of the US dollar go down, but price of silver goes up. So if you save your money in silver, well, you're protected. That's why people call it a hedge against inflation, right? So right now, should you be picking it up? Well, if you have literally no silver at all, if you got nothing, then you should probably pick up some silver. I think everyone should own, well, if you can afford it, at least 100 ounces would be great. But I know we're not all in the same position to be buying that. Some of us are just worried about bills and making it day to day. So if that's you, then hey, even a few ounces will do. I remember when I first started stacking silver, I was literally buying 1 ounce at a time. I was taking my cans to the recycling place here in Oregon. We get 10 cents a can, and once I got up to 20 bucks, I'd go to my local coin shop and I'd literally buy 1 ounce of silver. Now, I know a lot of the coin shops are closed right now, and maybe you can't do that, but if you just save up like $100, then you can do an online purchase of maybe 5 ounces at a time or something like that. So, you know, it just depends on what situation you're in. But can we expect the premiums to come down in the near future and the actual price of physical bullion to come down, or is it going to stay the same? Again, literally no one knows what's going to happen. So I think there's a couple things you could do. Number one, you could just stack cash. Now, I know we're all worried about inflation and stuff like that, but inflation doesn't usually happen overnight. It's not like you go to the store and buy, I don't know, let's just go with a can of soup, and it's maybe $1.50. And then the next day you go back and it's like $5. That is hyperinflation. We're not having that right now. We're not worried about that. And so it's okay to stack cash and kind of wait and see. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been stacking a lot of cash. It's funny, in one of my other videos, I showed some of my cash I'm stacking, and they're like, oh, I know that trick. It's the $100 bill with all ones underneath. No, these at least are all 20s. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point still remains the same. It's okay to be stacking cash and just sort of waiting to see what happens with silver, because in my opinion, the price of silver is relatively high right now from what we've seen over the past few years. Now, again, if you don't have any silver, if you're just getting into silver, well, if you're buying in at these prices, it's not the end of the world. I know there's some people out there that are saying, look, the price is obviously inflated because of supply and demand, and we are going to see the price for physical bullion go down here in the next few months. Literally no one knows what's going to happen. So will that be the case? Possibly. But it also might not be the case. We can see the price continue to go up. So, of course, there's a lot of factors, right? Are all of the coin shops going to open up and people just flood the coin shops with buying and selling silver, and there'll be this massive supply to meet the demand? We don't know. That is possible, although I sort of doubt that's going to be the case. This is a beautiful piece I just got to mention. It's the first ever kookaburra from the Australian Kookaburra series from the Perth Mint. Gorgeous one there, 1990. So got to break that one out every now and again. But anyway, so will the price go up or down in the near future? It could do either. So you sort of need to decide for yourself, okay, do I feel comfortable having no silver if you don't have any at all? Should I pick up a little bit at these prices, or should I maybe just stack some cash and wait and see what's going on? Now, I always think it's important to have cash on hand, whether you have no silver or a very large silver stack. And the reason is, well, cash is way more liquid than silver. If you have an emergency or need money for some reason, well, you have cash on hand if you've stacked cash, and you can just use that. Of course, if you go to sell your silver, there's some issues with that right now because you might not be able to sell it locally as easily anyway. You might have to sell it to an online bullion dealer or over the internet or something like that. And so if you needed to sell silver really fast, well, there's a possibility you'd actually take a loss on some of the silver that you purchased. Of course, if you buy silver and then sell it right away, typically you will take a loss. So that is something you need to think about. So, of course, I cannot stress enough the importance of having some cash on hand. It's up to you how much cash you want to stack, how comfortable you feel with having fiat currency lying around with all of the crazy currency printing that's going on right now. It seems like the government is not going to stop anytime soon. I think that they're going to keep on printing currency until they think they've solved the problem. Now, are they going to be able to create enough? I don't know. No one knows. I mean, not even the president knows, the governors. This is sort of a new situation that we're going through right now. So there's a lot of uncertainty, which is kind of why it's really smart to have your money in silver when there's lots of uncertainty. So you are protected in case anything crazy goes on. If we do have big inflation, hyperinflation especially, you have protected your wealth because you put it into silver, which is obviously a hedge, as I talked about before. So I'm going to kind of leave you with this. I think if you have stacked a fairly large amount of silver and you feel comfortable with all the silver that you've acquired, then maybe you shouldn't be stacking right now, because with the higher premiums, well, you're going to raise the cost average of your stack. Now, it's kind of up to you what you want your threshold to be. In videos in the past, I've said my top dollar is about $20 for an ounce of silver as far as stacking is concerned. Have I paid more for silver? Yes, of course, but those are usually pieces that I'm trying to collect and stuff of that nature. But as far as just stacking goes, I'm not trying to pay more than $20. So if there's no silver to be bought at under $20 an ounce, well, I'm not buying any. Now, if you have no silver, you should probably get some silver. Of course, it's up to you how much you want to put into it. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know how much money you have on hand. I don't know if you're struggling to pay your bills right now. If you have stuff you need to take care of, well, take care of that first. This comes after everything else is taken care of. Once you're in a place where you feel a little bit more comfortable, you have cash on hand and you want to stack some silver, I think if you don't have any, well, you might as well get in now because we don't know what's going to happen with the price. Now, I did recently make a video talking about how in 2008 we went into the Great Recession. And then shortly after that, we saw a pretty substantial rise in the price of silver and in the price of gold. Now, right now, we're basically in a recession, at least the start of one, or one is looming, if not a depression. And so, are we going to see that happen again? Well, if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend checking it out. I will put a link up in the corner as well as one down below in the description. But to finish out this video, should you be buying silver right now? That's something you need to decide for yourself. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another dude here on YouTube, and I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know what your bills look like, but I can tell you that for me personally, if the price of physical bullion is over 20 bucks an ounce, well, I'm just not going to be buying any. So I'll be stacking cash for the time being. I think that generally speaking, if we do see the spot price of silver go up, then we will see premiums come down, even if it's just slightly. If we see obviously a large rise in the spot price of silver, I think we will see premiums come down substantially. And possibly even go back to where they were. We might see $3 premiums on American Silver Eagles again. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I think I've said that like 10 times in this video. I really can't stress it enough. But because we don't know what's going to happen, I think you should definitely play it safe. Put some of your money into silver for sure. For me personally, I feel comfortable with the amount of silver that I've stacked. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stack any more silver, but that just means I'm going to be very picky because it's getting harder and harder to find silver at under 20 bucks an ounce. So anyway, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any comments, anything you'd like to add, please leave those down below. I want to say a massive thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.